I'm too old for this. Do you want a better life? There's some habits that you need to ditch. And I'm gonna tell you all about it, because change is not only about building new habits, but also changing the old ones that are no longer serving you. So here's the list of things that I'm too old for. Being hard on yourself. I'm too old for this stuff. Being hard on yourself does not serve any purpose. It's literally holding you back. You know that little voice inside your head telling you're not good enough, you're doing it wrong, everyone is better than you. No. There's a very good technique that you can do, is like naming your inner critic. Give him like a silly name. I don't know, name him Bob. I don't know why Bob is silly, but let's just roll with it. What it does is like distance you from those thoughts by personifying it. So whenever you're thinking, oh my god, I'm not good enough, and you'd be like, oh Bob, shut up, I am. I've learned about it in therapy a couple of years ago. It literally works. I really keep forgetting to do that, but I think it really, really works. And honestly, we are our hardest critics. And if you think about it, like, would you say those things? Would you think those things about your best friend? No, you wouldn't. So be your own best friend. You're not gonna get far by thinking bad thoughts about yourself. Numero uno. Being with people who don't appreciate you. I'm too old for this stuff. There's nothing lonelier than like this feeling of being lonely around people. When you're with someone and you feel like they don't appreciate you. Like you have this friend that you always have to reach out first. You always have to ask them out to do something. They will never reach out to you first. Or someone who's like constantly criticizing you. Ain't nobody got time for that. You don't have to keep those people in your life, even if it's family. I know this might be very, very hard, but when people that are like very close to you make you feel horrible, I think that's just very, very bad. I think it's honestly better for your mental health if you cut them off. I had some like toxic friendships in the past, and it did really make me feel bad about myself, and I was always constantly like seeking their attention, validation, and comparing myself to them, and it's not a good thing. Honestly, it is better to have less friends that are like loyal and actually want to spend time with you than chasing over someone that's not really good for you. Another one, focusing on the negative. I'm too old for this. I know that we as human are like negative biased. So for example, I don't know, you might post a picture on Instagram and you're gonna get a lot of lovely comments, and there's gonna be one person who would say something mean. And of course those like hundreds of nice comments won't matter. You're always gonna think about the one mean thing. We also fall into this trap of like generalization. I often think about like, oh, I always mess up. I'm always so awkward around people. I always. It's not like that at all. So really, really try to avoid doing that. And also, what happens in the past does not dictate the future. Even if you always mess up, it doesn't mean that you always gonna mess up. I was talking about this in my other video. To become more positive and think positively about your life and your achievement, try listing all the things that you managed to do, all your achievements. I have this Notion list that I just keep adding on, and whenever I feel like such a loser, like I mess up, like I'm not good enough, I go through this list, and that makes me feel so much better. So in order to be more positive, you actually have to do the work. You have to focus on your achievement. And what also helps is gratitude lists, which I've talked about thousands of times. Basically, every morning, just write a few things that you're grateful for. Can be morning, can be evening, and it really makes you appreciate all the good things that happen to you. Sitting around and waiting for things to happen. I'm too old for this stuff. If you're gonna wait for a perfect moment to start something, you're never gonna do anything, because you're never gonna be ready. Period. Just pause this video and have a think about what you always wanted to do but never did it. I'm sure there's at least one. I'm sure of it. For me, for example, it was to become a YouTuber. And I really wanted to do that for years. And I've only started 2 years ago. And I was always thinking, if I started when I actually had the idea, I've already would have had like, I don't know, freaking million subscribers. And I'm sure you have so many regrets as well. So the best time to start was yesterday. The second best is today. So just do it. Like I started my glow up project 1st of August. That was not perfect timing at all. In August, there was French festival in Edinburgh, so I was going out a lot. I went to Poland for 2 weeks, then I went to New York, I went to London. I was just doing so many things. So I just could have waited for another 2 months. Wait until I was not busy to start that challenge. But I'm 2 months in and I've already changed my life. I'm moving to London this month. I got monetized on YouTube. So it is working. So if I didn't start when I did, I wouldn't achieve those things. Think about that. So don't wait for perfect time. So start things now. But relationships, I'm too old for this stuff. I'm single and not ready to mingle. I had my fair share of bad relationships. I'm saying relationships because I've never been an actual real one. And I've wasted so much time on people who didn't want to be with me, who are not right for me. And it was just horrible. And I'd rather be by myself than to be with someone who I'm not happy with, who doesn't treat me like priority, who doesn't treat me like I wanted to be treated, and who is not right for me. And I know some of you might feel sorry for me because I'm single. I am not. Honestly, when I talk to my friends or I even talk to strangers, they always complain about their partners, and I just don't see the appeal. And there's a common theme around people that complain about their partners. When you ask them, why don't you just break up with them? They say, oh, well, I'm gonna find someone else now. I'm too old. So you'd rather be unhappy with someone and constantly complain than to just give yourself a fair chance. That's just stupid. I'm sorry, I'm calling it as this. I'm single now, and honestly, it's so peaceful. There's no one in my life that can like spoil my mood just like that, you know? And I'm not saying no to relationship, but I'm gonna get in one only when I feel like it's a good fit. You have only one life. Don't waste it on being with someone that's just like a filler, that you with them because you're afraid of being alone. No, love yourself, honey. Excessive drinking. I'm too old for this stuff. Honestly, I think this is the only one that has actually something to do with age. Like when you're 21, I freaking get it. I get it. You go, have fun, baby. But when you're my age, I'm 33 this year. First of all, I think it's just a bad look. Like if you have to get wasted every weekend at that age, I think there's something else going on in your life. I don't want to be judgmental, although I am. But honestly, sober or semi-sober life is just so much better. Like, don't get me wrong, I drink some, like, few glasses of wine sometimes when I go to dinner with my friends, but to be honest, there's nothing better than waking up Saturday morning fresh and ready for the day, waking up early, doing your chores, going for walks, instead of just, you know, dying in your bed. That was cute and fun when I was like 22, and also the hangovers were not that bad. But now, oh my god, horrendous. I can have like 1 pint of beer and have a headache next day. I don't see a point. So take care of yourself. A little bit of alcohol is fine, but if you're over 30 and you get wasted every weekend, maybe it's time to look at yourself. Not investing time in personal growth. I'm too old for this stuff. What can I say? I'm a sucker for self-improvement. I started this journey in 2020 when we had so much time in our hands. I started reading a lot of like self-help books, self-improvement and stuff like that, and honestly it is life-changing, and I cannot believe that I've not done it before. I've been in therapy for quite a few years now, and I'm reading a lot of books, I am watching a lot of videos, and I'm working on myself actively. I've never been more self-aware, and it's brilliant. And honestly, when I look at my life now, it's not even the fact that I'm happier, and not even the fact that, like, you know, I've learned all those things, but my life just changed drastically. Like, everything about my life is different. So yeah, just do it. And don't think that it's like stupid girly thing and you just have to like suck it up and, you know, push through. No. That's bullshit. Pretending that I don't like things that I like. I remember when I was a teenager in my early 20s, you know, you just want to belong, and you just want to like conform, and you just want to be the same as like your peers, and you want to be cool. You're afraid that people are gonna make fun of the things that you like. These times are over. Enjoy the things that you like. Be unapologetically yourself. You know what my favorite movie is? How to Be Single. I freaking love it. This is the only movie that I actually own. I bought it on Amazon and I watch it at least every month. Literally the best movie ever. I know it didn't win any Oscars. No one ever called it a masterpiece, but it's just such a good movie. It makes me feel so good. It makes me feel very happy and kind of inspired. So I no longer believe in guilty pleasures. I love reading smutty romance. I really love reading Wattpad stories. There's literally nothing better than a fan fiction written by like 15-year-old. Go ahead and put your guilty pleasures in the comments. I'm really curious. I might get inspired actually. Another one that is kind of the same but different, pretending to like things. I will never be a mountain girl. I will never be a hiker. I don't enjoy it. Give me iced coffee and a sidewalk and I will walk for hours. for literally 4 hours, just going from shop to shop, looking at the little things and just looking at the views and just enjoying myself, listening to my music, drinking my coffee. Literally hours. Hiking in nature, 20 minutes and I'm done complaining. I know it's pretty uncool and I know you might judge me, but I honestly don't care. Why on earth I'm gonna pretend that I like the things that actually makes me want to scream? Life is too short to do the things that you don't want to do, and too short to pretend that you like things that you actually don't like. Who are you trying to impress? I know the views might be great, but at what cost? And honestly, I think the mountains look much better from the bottom. And lastly, worrying about what other people think. I say it all the time. No one cares. We're all so self-absorbed that we barely notice other people. So do that damn thing. You want to become an influencer? Get on TikTok. Get on YouTube. Start making those videos. Start filming in the public. No one gives a damn. First of all, no one's gonna pay rent for you. And second of all, why does it even matter? Honestly, even if they make fun of you, why should you care? Honestly, give them something to talk about. Probably they're just jealous of you. I know people say that, oh, they're just jealous. But honestly, if you have courage to follow your dreams and do what you always wanted to do, I'm sure if they're gonna be thinking about you, it's just gonna be jealousy. So I hope this video helped even a little bit. And if you have your own things that you think you're too old for, please drop them in the comments and follow me on this journey. Join our little community. I love you all and I see you next week.